Hello, friend, and welcome to the review for quiz number 3. Publishing and songwriting and copyright, and I enjoy talking about copyright. It's a fun topic for me. Let's jump right in. What is copyright? So the first question is that, and copyright is a limited duration monopoly, right? You get to own that work. For the most part, we're talking about songs, but also recordings for a certain amount of time. How long is that time? I think right now it is the life of the author plus 70 years or 75 years. So that length of time. Okay. When do you own a copyright? And you own it as soon as you make a tangible form, a tangible copy of the song or the work, right? In our case, if you make a recording of it, that's good enough for a tangible. You can touch that recording and you can hold on to it, right? If you write it out, that is also a tangible form, right? If you just perform it, and even if people hear it, it's not enough of a tangible form. It's got to be recorded, written down somehow. All right. So that leads to the next question, which it sort of feels to us like we don't own the copyright until we've registered it with the Copyright Office, with the Library of Congress in Washington, D.C. That is false. Absolutely not. No. As soon as you write it down, as soon as you record it, that song is yours. You own the right to copy it. Okay. What are those rights? So it's I think this is another one of those choose all that apply, and I think it's only the ones that apply. But these are the things that once you have created that tangible form, once you've recorded it or written down the song, you have the right to reproduce that song. That's yours, your right to do that, not anybody else. Distribute that song, right? To put it out on CD Baby, to put it out to in a recording, through Apple Music, iTunes, Spotify, all of those places. To perform it publicly. That's you own that right? To make derivative works, right? To make a copy of that or to use it in some other way, twist it around, chop and screw, and to make remixes, right? And then display publicly, which is a little less for music, but it's still a right in the copyright. Okay. So PROs, that stands for Performing Rights Organizations, ASCAP and BMI. Those are the two big ones. I am required to say CSAC as well, but they're very small. They're European. I think they're by invitation. So, yeah, ASCAP, BMI, CSAC. Those are your performing rights organizations, and they issue something called a blanket license. Okay, blanket license lets the user get the right to perform all the compositions controlled by the publishers affiliated with that society. Okay, so if you are running an establishment, a venue, or someplace where you're publicly performing music or presenting music to the public, right? ASCAP and BMI will contact you and say, hey, you should pay us this amount of money so that you can perform these songs. Okay. Now, who issues the mechanical licenses for the publishers? It's the Harry Fox Agency. And these guys are interesting. I wish I knew a little bit more about them, but they're really cool. They're who I get in touch with when I want to make covers. So if I do a cover, I contact them, usually through CD Baby, and that's how we put out covers if we ever do that. I've gotten at least 2 or 3 letters from them because they get confused, right? I'll write a song that is mine, and I'll put it out under the name the Red Room Rebels or the Lee College Hip Hop Society Collective, and they don't realize that I'm the same person. So Harry Fox is the one that sends me a letter that says, "Hey, you didn't license this song," and very easily I point out to them like, "Hey, yeah, who does own it? Oh, Sam Ortolano. Okay, then good." The synchronization license is the license to use music in synchronization with visual images. I could talk about this one for a long time. This is a fun one, but if you want to put a song in a movie, you have to get a synchronization license. If you're doing it in a YouTube video, also synchronization license, right? And the other one I will reference quickly, and then we can talk about it in class. If you use music in a Peloton class, you need to get a synchronization license. All right, but let's move on. Question number 9 asks about the sound recording copyright. So I hope we had time in class to really get into the differences between, you have 2 separate things that you have the right to copy, that copyright. So you have the song, right? If you wrote the song, if you put it into a tangible form, you own that song, okay? If you made a recording, that's a separate copyright. That is the sound recording copyright, okay? So the publisher, the person that wrote the song, they own the copyright to that. The record company usually owns the copyright, the sound recording copyright, okay? And this is why you can make a cover and put it on YouTube, and then the publisher usually doesn't bother you too much about that, right? Because they own that song, you're using that song, but you're giving them publicity, and if it becomes popular, people are going to go back anyway. Yeah, but if you play somebody's recording, right, then they're going to demonetize you. There are some that will even take down the whole video. But the last question is true or false about the poor man's copyright. And it is true that a poor man's copyright will establish a date on which you created the work, right? If you go into court and you've got an envelope with a stamp on it, then it's better than not having anything. But if you're going against somebody who has registered it with the Copyright Office, you're probably going to lose. You're going to lose, and like it or not, the kangaroo will not be surprised at those prices.